Well, as I'm picking up from my sources, the latest that's coming in is that Modi government is planning to do away with loss-making PSUs in the country, and this is going to be a pool of new set of PSUs that is going to be pulled by Niti Aayog and PMO. In fact, sources to ET now tell us that in the early months, early days of November, in fact, by the end of October, there was an important high-level meeting that was held in PMO where also officials of Niti Aayog were present, and as per sources, a draft list of loss-making PSUs was prepared. In fact, Niti Aayog has also submitted a status report on this, but what we're getting you, though this has been on the top of the agenda, what we are picking up is that fertilizer PSUs are on the top of the agenda for government. In fact, besides that, coal and mine sectors are something that they're keenly looking into. Let's not forget the asset monetization, disinvestment and privatization are three major agendas that Modi government has been on. In fact, they've set certain targets, they've set certain agenda. BPCL was something that was just put off. Air India is next on list, and many other such plans that they have. Now, in terms of fertilizer, what I'm picking up is that Department of Fertilizer did a prelim conversation with the Niti Aayog and PMO in discussing of putting off certain loss-making PSUs. In fact, two such PSUs, that is FACT and Madras Fertilizer, are names coming up. There were two meetings held regarding this, one in July and one in August, and discussions on merging them have been, of course, government has been mulling over merging these two PSUs. What I'm picking up is that in a draft proposal, Department of Fertilizer also put in a request to consider a three-pronged approach in putting off these loss-making PSUs. One could be, of course, asset monetizing them. Second would be disinvesting them, and third would be waiving off their loans. Let's not forget that both of them are loss-making. One of their quarterly results also listed about about 18 crore loss in last quarter. But this is not all the government has on its agenda, more such. In fact, reading out an early meeting that was also held in the month of October, where Niti Aayog officials had mentioned that they completely plan to exit non-strategic sectors through privatization or strategic disinvestments. That is, the government is keen that they do not want loss-making PSUs to of course be a burden on them, and rather they should be independent. We know in first round of disinvestment also Niti Aayog had recommended about 48 companies, which also included Air India, which is yet still I'd say under the process. December 14 stands the day where Air India, it's the last date for Air India expression of interest, and post that only the future of it will be decided. But it's very important that Modi government starts getting in money and starts doing away with these PSUs, and in fact start pulling in more and more private sector, because that's been the agenda of the government. They're also keenly working on pulling up their export strategy, also keenly working on getting more and more foreign players in the country.